Please take your seat on the dais. Dr. A.K. Mitra, sir, please. Director, NCMR, National Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting, sir. Professor A.K. Chaturvedi, sir. Professor Ashish Pandey, sir. Professor Mohit Mohanty. Professor Basant Yadav, please. And I would like to request the students to please welcome our guest with a bouquet of flowers, please. So welcome to the valedictory session of the International Conference on Climate and Weather-Related Extremes. I'm Kritika Kothari, faculty at the Water Resources Development Management Department, IIT Roorkee. And I hope the deliberations over the past 2 years were helpful for you and that you leave today with new energy and new perspective on the challenges and on extreme weather and climate events. First of all, I would like to request Professor Ashish Pandey, sir, head of the Water Resource Development and Management Department, and chairman of the conference, sir, please come here for the welcome address, sir.
Thank you, Professor Kritika. I welcome Dr. A.K. Mitra, Director, National Center for Medium Range Forecasting, Noida. I welcome Professor Chaturvedi, Director, IIT Roorkee, in the validity function of this international conference. I welcome our keynote speakers. I welcome our participants. I welcome our guests, faculty, colleagues from IIT Roorkee in this validity program of the international conference. I hope that these 2 days deliberation might have brought some new ideas in which we can work in future for minimizing the impact of hydrological extremes. We had wonderful keynote speeches from professor like Professor V.P. Singh. Then we had some wonderful presentation from Mr. Jaina, Mr. Mishra, former DG, NMCG. They brought some new ideas that how those things can be implemented at ground level. As rightly said by Professor V.P. Singh during the inaugural function, that apart from science and technology, we have to see that how other things can be brought into same level so that preparedness for this extreme event can be taken up in proper way. So I will not say more regarding what has been discussed in this conference. So my colleague, Professor Mohit, will discuss more about that. Once again, I welcome you all in this validity program of the international conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Pandey. Next, I would like to invite Professor Mohit Prakash Mohanty. Please tell us more about the conference and give a brief report. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Kritika. Good evening to all the dignitaries, distinguished speakers, delegates, presenters, and all the participants. The International Conference on Climate and Weather-Related Extremes, ICCW 2022, as we named it, was officially inaugurated on the 19th September 22 at IIT Roorkee by the Department of Water Resources Development and Management. More than 150 participants attended this conference and several domain experts delivered lectures on themes, that is on dynamics of climate and weather changes in the Anthropocene, flood risk management, monitoring and assessment of droughts, cyclone impacts and developing resilience, heat waves and temperature variability, sustainable policy initiatives and governance, and lastly, strengthening local capacity for recovery from extremes. The dignitaries who graced the occasion were Shri Pradeep Kumar Jaina, IS Development Commissioner, Additional Chief Secretary to the Government of Odisha and Managing Director of the Odisha State Disaster Management Authority, Professor Durgesh Pant, Director General, Uttarakhand State Council for Science and Technology, Professor Ajit Kumar Chaturvedi, Director, IT Roorkee, Professor R.P. Singh, Director, Indian Institute of Remote Sensing, Professor V.P. Singh, Distinguished Professor, IT Roorkee, Texas A&M University, and Professor Ashish Pandey, the Head of the Department, Water Resources Development and Management. Professor Pandey delivered the welcome address and highlighted the importance of the conference on the occasion of the 175 years of celebration of IT Roorkee. Dr. R.B. Singh spoke about the growing consensus regarding climate change, highlighting the role of satellite data for climate observations and improving the temporal resolution of satellite sensors for monitoring extreme events. Professor Pant emphasized the importance of immediate action towards climate change through ecological, economic, and technological solutions. Professor V.P. Singh's lecture elaborated on his vision to bring social, cultural, economic, and technical strategies to address climate and weather anomalies. Professor Chaturvedi lastly commented that science and technical solutions should go hand in hand, and pragmatic solutions should be planned to handle climate and weather-related extremes. Shri Jaina stressed that the intensity and frequency of climate extremes are becoming a significant problem and accentuating the need for better and climate weather and climate forecast is the need of the hour. The inaugural session was hosted by Professor Kritika Kothari from Water Resources Development and Management. As a token of gratitude, Professor Pandey felicitated all the WRTM representatives. Now, there were 4 plenary sessions on 19 September 22 yesterday, where renowned experts across the globe presented their deliberations on pressing issues of climate and weather extremes. Shri Jaina, IS MD of OSDMA, and Professor Mishra, IS retired Chief Advisor NIUN New Delhi, emphasized the role of state disaster management authorities or local communities to manage cyclones and other weather-related extremes in different parts of the world. Professor Mohammad Farooq Azam elaborated on the Himalayan crash break hazards and weather-related risks. Professor Mukund Behra, IIT Kharagpur, spoke about the responses of Indian forest ecosystems to changing climate. Dr. Praveen Thakur elaborated on the significance of EU systems like sensors in monitoring and modeling, and also managing climate and weather extremes. Professor Paul Bates from the University of Bristol, UK, limited data availability and uncertainty associated with it. 3 plenary sessions were held today, that is on 20 September, focusing on climate and weather-related extremes, especially floods. Professor V.P. Singh, Texas A&M USA, elaborated on the challenges and opportunities related to the climate and weather-related extremes, followed by a talk by Dr. Gyanendra Mahapatra from CSI 4th Paradigm Institute, Bangalore, on modeling extreme rainfall events over major urban cities in India. The same was almost deliberated by Brigadier Pramod Kumar Singh, VSM Senior Consultant, UPSDMA, on climate change manifestation and challenges. Expert talks by Dr. Kalachand Sen, the Director, Wadia Institute of Himalayan Geology. And later we had another talk by Dr. Pratap Singh, Vice President, RMSA Private Limited, who provided insights on recent flood modeling and forecasting developments. Dr. Praveen Gupta, SAC ISRO, elaborated on flood prediction using satellite observation and modeling. Dr. V. Rakesh, CSF 4 Paradigm Institute, Bangalore, focused on data assimilation and major scale models for improved prediction of weather extremes. Professor Subimal Ghosh from IIT Bombay discussed making agriculture water management climate smart. Professor Shubhankar Karmakar, IIT Bombay, discussed mapping of flood risk under changing climate, and Professor Anil Gupta, NIDM, on the diversities and complexities of climatic disasters. Shri Khushwinder Vora ji, member of Central Water Commission, New Delhi could not make it to the event due to some other last-minute commitments, but Shri Vodaji stressed on two broad aspects, that is disaster management for well-known hydroclimatological disasters, and efficient planning and operation of the available water and environmental resources that we have. Within disaster management, there is an urgent need to accurately predict extreme events through state-of-the-art forecasting systems and focus on engineered reservoir operation. To holistically plan and operate the water resources and environmental systems, there is a need to adopt stringent policies while at the same time focusing on innovative solutions such as climate resilient cropping. In both the technical sessions that we had yesterday and today, there were a total of 96 presentations elaborating on the environmental change and providing insights into the disaster management. The expert talks and technical presentations from distinguished speakers across the globe on the climate and weather-related extremes provided really valuable insights and paved the way for the research community. Solving these issues is multidimensional and requires stakeholder representation from various social, cultural, economic, and technological backgrounds. There is an urgent need for high spatial and temporal resolution of data and modeling, forecasting, and developing appropriate mitigation strategies. Novel modeling frameworks for predictions and uncertainty quantification are also the way forward for the young researchers to explore the impacts of environmental systems. All the institutes should collaborate with multiple stakeholders, including government, non-government, and local communities to address and mitigate the issues of climate and weather-related hazards, such as cyclones, floods, heat waves, glacial melts, tornadoes, and droughts. We'll be sharing the detailed report of the conference with the participants after some time. Thank you very much for attending this conference and making it really, really successful. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you for the wonderful report, Professor Mohanty. And next, I would like to invite our dignitaries for sharing their thoughts. And before inviting our speaker, I would like to give a brief introduction. Dr. A.K. Mitra is a scientist and the head of the National Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting, Ministry of Earth Sciences, Government of India. He has been working there for the past 33 years. Dr. Mitra earned his bachelor's and master's degrees from Berhampur University, Odisha, and PhD from IIT Delhi. His current works include coupled ocean atmosphere modeling for prediction of days to season, covering medium, extended, and seasonal scales with focus on Indian monsoon. Dr. Mitra was a visiting scientist at Florida State University, United States, and UK Met Office, United Kingdom, where he worked on coupled modeling of monsoon. Dr. Mitra is an associate editor of Royal Met Society Journal, QJRMS, and is serving as a member of several national and international committees related to weather and climate expert groups. With this brief introduction, I would like to request Dr. Mitra to please share your thoughts with us.
Thank you. Thank you for this introduction. Respected Professor Chaturvedi and Professor Ashish Pandey, Professor Mohanty, and Professor Yadav, and all the dignitaries and delegates who are present here. So I'm very happy to be part of this conference. And first of all, when I saw this topic, climate and weather related extremes, so I thought it's my topic or our weather community's topic. It's hijacked by Water Resources Department. But again, I felt very happy that the users, in the weather prediction or the weather modeling, the final outcome is precipitation, soil moisture, and temperature. And we have been interacting with hydrologists, civil engineers, and scientists associated with water management. So it's a very good indication that the water resources and hydrologists are organizing a conference on this topic of weather and climate extremes. So that's very extremely heartening. And I was talking to your director. What has happened over last one decade, the skill of the weather and climate models has improved tremendously. That you might have seen from the general weather forecast or the application. So like 10 years back, we were in fact not interacting much with the end user. But personally, me in last particularly 1 decade, very aggressively we are going to the user, particularly the hydrologist, water managers, flood forecasters, and pursuing them how to use our forecasts. So it's happening, and I'm very happy that in India there is a huge community of engineers, practicing scientists who are using this weather forecast. So you'll be happy that our forecasts are used by Central Water Commission for 3 days flood forecasting. And Central Water Commission is having another project, extended range hydrological project, that is to give hydrological outlook for water management in weeks time, weeks to month. And the seasonal forecasts are also very useful nowadays. So what I want to convey that the science and the technique of weather prediction by weather modeling and data assimilation is improving continuously. And in India, in the Ministry of Arts Sciences, and our center is the lead center in the modeling. And I can tell very with authority that we are at par with any other centers in the world. So you can be assured that whatever forecast we are issuing, of course, forecast will have uncertainty, but it is at par with any other international center. And we are working very hard, our ministry with other department. So we have all the technologies for water forecasting from days to season, and even for the climate change. So the modeling science and the technique, we are working nicely. But what has happened in last 2 years, so particularly to this gathering, I would like to address that there are two things. You go to any weather modeling center, they are implementing something called seamless modeling system. So I was just talking to scientists from USA. So now NSAP USA is implementing a seamless modeling system. So earlier there used to be different model, one for short range, one for medium, one for cyclone, one for the seasonal forecast. So world over, that philosophy that you should have a single model which will cater to all the time scale and space scale. So that is happening, and we are the second center in the world. We have implemented the seamless modeling center in India. And another development is the ensemble forecasting. So there is uncertainty in weather forecast. So when you use weather forecast for flood forecasting, water management, water availability, there will be uncertainty. So we are working on this ensemble weather forecast, ensemble short range climate forecast. And we are spending huge amount of computing resources to produce this ensemble forecasting. So I will the application scientists and engineers to you may be feeling frustrated that when you use a weather forecast in the past, it may not be working very well in the basin scale. So the skill of a forecast when it comes to very smaller scale is not very good. But fortunately, due to AIML techniques, I have seen this model output post-processing when you do either statistical or using AIML, it has a lot of promise. And in India and world over, I am seeing this AIML is just happening. So we are also new to this, and other centers we are interacting in US, Japan, and UK. They are also starting to use AIML. So I will recommend, because we don't have a lot of people in India, and a lot of new centers are coming up in AIML. So how to use AIML for using this weather and climate output for hydrological India and with the international collaborations we have. India has very good international collaboration with US, UK, Japan, and so the future as a practicing scientist and engineer in the water sector, there is a great promise and things are happening. So what used to happen a decade back has changed all over. So with that, I will once again thank Director IIT Roorkee to invite me and congratulate for organizing this conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mitra. That was a wonderful speech. And next, we have a very special event. So we will be announcing the best paper awards. So we had total 96 presentations over the past 2 days. And the session chairs and co-chairs scored all the presentations. And based on those scores, we have finalized the first, second, third prizes. And we have a cash prize for 7,500 for the first, and 5,000 rupees for second, and 3,000 rupees for the third award winner. And I would like the students to please bring the certificates, and I would like to request our guests, Dr. Mitra and Professor Chaturvedi, to please hand over the certificate to our winners. So on third place, we have abstract ID 1966, Bhanu Magotra, abstract title, Prediction of hydrological extremes across Indian catchment using long short-term memory network model. Bhanu, yes. Okay. And next we have Shri. So there is a tie for third place, and we have another winner at third place, that is abstract ID 8282. Abstract title, Impact of Heat Wave on Primary Productivity in Indian Subcontinent, Sri Naga Sai Veera. Do we have him here? Naga Sai Veera. Okay, she's not here. So can someone else take the award? Okay. Okay. Next, in second place, we have abstract ID 7445, titled Spatio-Temporal Assessment of Meteorological, Hydrological, and Agricultural Drought over Semi-Arid Regions of Bundelkhand, India, by Ruchir Patidar. Again, we have a tie for second place, and we have another winner, that is abstract ID 1269, Efficacy of Chirps version 2.0 in characterizing flood hazards in a resource-constrained coastal catchment. And the winner is Devanand Thakur. And next, for the first place, we have one winner. And any guesses? Okay, so, okay, if there are no guesses, I'll go ahead. So the abstract ID 4629, titled Simulation of 7th February 2021 Rock Ice Avalanche Event in the Rishi Ganga River Valley, Uttarakhand, Himalayas. And the winner is Mr. Gagandeep Singh. Thank you so much, and congratulations to all the winners. And I would like to request the dignitaries to please take your seat. And we have our next speech by our guest, Director of IT Roorkee, Professor A.K. Chaturvedi, sir. Sir earned his bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degree from IIT Kanpur, and he has been serving the IIT fraternity in different roles, and which includes as a faculty, department head, dean, deputy director, and currently director at IIT Roorkee. He served as a faculty in the Department of Electronics Engineering at IIT BHU and the Department of Electronics and Computer Engineering at IIT Roorkee. And he also held the position of head of the Department of Electrical Engineering, Dean of Research and Development, and Deputy Director at IIT Kanpur. He is a recipient of INSA Teacher Award, the Distinguished Teacher Award at IIT Kanpur, and the Tan Chin Tuan Fellowship of Nanyang Technical University, Singapore. And he was the coordinator of the BSNL IIT-K Telecom Center of Excellence and a founding member of the Telecom Standards Development Society of India. He's an expert in communication theory and wireless communication technology and has worked on many projects in the telecom sector. With this introduction, I would like to invite Professor Chaturvedi. So please grace the event with your speech. Over to you.
Dr. A.K. Mitra, Director, National Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting, my colleagues on the dais, dignitaries in the audience, and participants of this two-day event. I would say that this valedictory function in terms of content looks to be quite impressive in terms of many valedictory functions that I've attended earlier. The focus is purely on the content, that is extreme weather extremes, weather and climate extremes, and whatever has been learned over the last 2 days, and also in terms of the best paper awards and the very succinct and very cogent remarks by our keynote speaker of the valedictory function, Dr. A.K. Mitra. It's very heartening to see that just Noida so close by, we have such a wonderful center. And many of our departments are doing work which can either collaborate with the center or use the models of the center for further predictions and further usage downstream. And we are hope that not only through his visit, but even otherwise, the collaboration that were happening will cement further, and hope that this theme of the conference will get further boost in terms of the IIT Roorkee's ability to work in this area, especially in the Indian context. This event has been very well attended in terms of both national speakers and international speakers. And I'm sure that the participants who have come here, one purpose is, of course, to learn and to present your own ideas and papers. But an equally important, if not more important purpose is to get to know people who work in your area. I think that opportunity to network with your peers is unique opportunity provided by conferences, because when you are looking for a partner, collaborator, you are looking for somebody to answer a question, and you have attended a conference, you know that who is that expert to whom you can reach out. I hope that this conference has provided that platform, and many of you will go back with names and more familiarity with the work of people whose talks you've attended, or you might have talked to them during the session breaks. In terms of our celebration of 175th year of IIT Roorkee, I must say that the organization of this conference has been quite impressive. The entire WRDM department, the entire team has not only identified a topic which is so relevant, but has also pooled the resources very efficiently to deliver a very precise impact on this two-day event. The most heartening feature is that just after this valedictory function, we are going to release a set of recommendations that have been resulted from the deliberations of the last 2 days. So this is very important, that in topics of this kind, where you have so much close impact on human civilization and government and society, it is not important to remain only within the academic confines, but to go beyond and release it to the media, interact with the bureaucrats, and interact with those people who are in positions of responsibility. So that is a very good thing that is happening out of this conference. I must congratulate all the participants. Without your presence, without your participation, without your active involvement, contribution of papers, this would not have happened, the kind of energy that this conference has generated. Hope this enthusiasm that has built up will continue further in time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Chaturvedi. So next, I would like to invite the students to please bring the mementos, and I would like to request Professor Pandey, Professor Yadav, and Professor Mohanty to please present the token of remembrance to our dignitaries and guests, Professor A.K. Chaturvedi and Dr. A.K. Mitra sir. Thank you so much. Coming next, I would like to invite Professor Basant Yadav to please present a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Professor Kritika. Respected Chief Guest, all the dignitaries on the stage, faculty colleagues, students, ladies and gentlemen present here, good evening. I consider it is a great privilege to propose a vote of thanks to all the dignitaries who have made it convenient to attend this international conference on climate and weather-related extremes organized by Department of Water Resource Development and Management, IIT Roorkee. In the last 2 days, we had many excellent lectures discussing the potential technological and resilient solutions to avoid the worst impacts of weather-related extremes. I, on behalf of the organizing committee, convey deep regards and heartily thanks to the Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. A.K. Mitra, Director, National Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting, Noida, for sparing his valuable time and accepting our invitation to grace the valedictory function of this international conference. We are encouraged by your kind presence, sir, and the Department of WRD IIT Roorkee will always remain grateful. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for Professor Ajit Kumar Chaturvedi, Director IIT Roorkee, for his encouragement and support in organizing this conference and for sparing his valuable time with us. I want to thank our head of the department, Professor Ashish Pandey, for his constant help and guidance that radiated a source of energy within us. I thank all the honorable delegates and keynote speakers who blessed us with their presence. I'm also very thankful to the 175-year celebration committee, conference committee members, best paper award committee members, sessions co-chairmen and co-chairmen for their help and support. Words are not enough to thank their constant guidance and support in shaping this conference. Young people are not only victims of climate change, they are also valuable contributors to the climate actions. They are agents of change, leaders and innovators. Whether through actions, education, science or technology, young people are scaling up their efforts and using their skills to accelerate the action on climate action. On behalf of IIT Roorkee, I would like to thank all the participants who have traveled here from various parts of the country to present their ideas. I'm very thankful to all our faculty members of IIT Roorkee who always stand by us, motivate us. Thank you for making this event a successful one. I'm thankful to all the students of WRDM who have worked in the background to make this event a grand success. I also express my sincere thanks to the Office of DSW, Dean Nitra, ICC, Security Office, and the Office staff of WRDM for their timely help and support. We are also grateful to the media for their comprehensive coverage of this event. I would also like to thank the Science and Engineering Research Board, Terry Army, Satpalda, ANS Creations, DHI, and IWRS for sponsoring this conference. Lastly, I'm thankful to one and all those who have directly or indirectly contributed to conducting this conference successfully. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Professor Yadav. And I would like to request everyone to please stand for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
You may now take your seats, and with this, we conclude this valedictory session. And I would like to thank you all for your time and attention. And thank you so much, all the dignitaries. And you can all now proceed for the tea break. Thank you.